In today's video, we're going to learn how to make a PDF form using Adobe Acrobat Pro, and then we're going to make it accessible. Welcome to the Accessibility Guide channel. My name is Sean Jordison, and let's get started right away. I have a form that I created the base structure for from Microsoft Word, and I've also updated Adobe Acrobat to its latest version. So things might look a little different on my computer than they do for you. With that said, the very first step that I want to do is apply the accessibility to this document. Anytime we're working with forms, I have found that the fastest method to get a completed form is to make it accessible. So we're going to start by clicking on the tags panel, and there are some elements in here that we should remove. For example, these empty P tags, we can start with these. I'm simply going to select each one of them and hold my control key to make sure they're all three selected. Then I'm going to right click and change them to artifacts. I can then delete the blank P tags. And then what we're going to do next is make this top level text a heading level 1. And I'm going to do that by simply pressing F2 on my keyboard on the tag and changing it to an H1. I could also right click, select properties, and change the drop down menu of the tag type. Let's keep going. We have document name, reviewer name, date reviewed. We have a table with several rows and blank P tags. We're not going to address the blank P tags just yet because we want to keep the placeholders for them when we do our form fields. But all I'm doing right now is just walking through and trying to determine if this is accessible. So right now we have a table that spans 2 pages, but Acrobat created 2 table tags. I'm going to first expand the second table, select all of the rows, and cut them from this current table tag. Then we're going to go up to the table tag above it and paste them in that table. Then we can delete the blank table row. So we turned a table that spanned 2 pages into a single table. We then have some more random blank P tags. I think there was another one up here, and there's probably another one and another one. So we're going to select these blank containers, right click, and change them to an artifact and select OK. We could then delete the blank P tags out, and we now have the basic structure of our document. Let's go ahead and run the accessibility checker. I'm going to use my tool called Prepare for Accessibility, and we are going to run the accessibility check on all pages, and currently it doesn't have a title. To fix that, we're going to right click and select Fix, and we need to give it a title, subject, and keywords. This will be 508 checklist for PowerPoint accessibility. The subject will be a checklist for accessibility. The author will be Sean Jordison, and the keywords can be PowerPoint accessibility. And then we're going to select OK. All right, so now we kind of have a mostly accessible document. We have our headers, we have our field names, and we have tables with the correct structure. So the next phase of this is to add in our form fields. Now, the first step to do that is select the Edit button, and then we're going to choose the option Prepare a Form. And what we're going to do is auto-detect the form fields and select Create Form. Now, there is quite a bit of energy that I put into these videos. Please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. And what it does is it attempts to place all of these elements. Now, we have one problem. Where all the checkbox list items should be, they're all actually currently inserted as text boxes. And the unfortunate thing about this is the name and the tooltip, while it looks okay, the problem is there's no way to get this as a checkbox right now. There's no way to convert text boxes to checkboxes. So we actually have to delete all of these out and insert our checkboxes from scratch. This is also why I focused on starting with the accessibility of the document first, because now we can get into the specifics. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is select the checkbox button from the Add Form components, and I'm going to place this checkbox in the center of the field as best I can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. To do that, I'm going to right-click the checkbox while I'm in Forms mode, and I'm going to select the option Create Multiple Copies. We can choose how many times we want to make a copy across the page, and how many times we want to make it down the page. I believe I have 13 items, and then we're going to select OK. Now the next phase of this is to move our checkboxes to the right location. And I'm trying to move the checkboxes in groups so that they are even. And let's begin trying to get these lined up. I'm simply selecting checkboxes and then using the down arrow key on my keyboard to move them. And then I'm selecting them again. Whoops. And I'm just trying to get these evenly lined up. All right, that seems pretty good for now. So let's get out of forms mode here. And we have all of our checkboxes in here. And now we need to, let's go ahead and run the accessibility checker. I'm going to select the prepare for accessibility button and then select accessibility check. And let's run this scan. All right, and what we have here is we have tagged form fields failed. We have 42 of them and 42 39 form fields that don't have descriptions. So how do we fix this? This is the method that I like to use. I'm going to go to my tags panel and I'm going to create a new tag. It doesn't matter what type we make. Let's make it an H6 just so it stands out. And I'm going to select that tag. Then in the options panel of the tags window, I'm going to select the option find, and I'm going to change the drop down selection to unmarked annotations, and we are going to search the document. And then I'm going to select find and tag element, and I'm just going to press tag element over and over. And what Acrobat is doing is it's going through all of these checkboxes and it's creating a form annotation for me. And currently it's placing them all under that same H6 tag. And so when I expand the H6 tag, I have all of these wonderful checkboxes. All right, phase 2 of this is to move all of these checkboxes into the right location. So the first one is document name. I'm simply going to Control X this, and we're going to go up to where document name is, and I'm going to paste it. Now for me, I like to also wrap these inside of a form element. So to do that, I'm going to right click, select new tag, and write form, and then drag this document name in there. And we can do the same for reviewer name. I'm going to right click, select form, and then let's go find our checkbox, Control X, and paste child. We can do the same thing for date reviewed. Create a new form field, go to our date reviewed checkbox, cut it, and paste as child. Oops, I think I cut the wrong thing. Let's save our file. All right, so now we have a decent start on setting up the accessibility. Next comes the fun part. We have all of these blank tags. So this first TD tag up here, we have these blank spaces. I'm going to select each one of these containers and hold my control key. And then I'm going to right click and select change tag to artifact and select page. Now I'm going to leave these P tags in here, select them all, right click, select properties, and I'm going to change them to a form tag. This is sort of like a fast track way to get all of the form fields in. And then I'm going to find these individual checkboxes, cut them, and paste child. And we got the first one in there. Here's the second one. I'm going to just drag it to its home. And now we have a row that has the table header and our properly formatted form fields. All right, but we're not done yet. So our form fields now need a tooltip. So to do that, I'm going to right click the checkbox element and select properties. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I need to open up the prepare form option. And then this is where we can start adding things. So I'm going to right click the first checkbox, select properties, and I need to update the name in the tooltip. I actually don't have to update the name, but it's probably going to help me. So if I put like document name lacks spaces and special characters, that can be fine. And then in the tooltip, I want to put information to the screen reader user of what this field is for. And so I'm just going to copy and paste the tooltip for document name lacks spaces and special characters. And then I'm going to put a colon and write the word yes. Oh, and I'm going to copy that tooltip and then select close. Then I'm going to go to the no checkbox, right click, select properties, and paste that as the name, and delete my yes, paste it in the tooltip and change it to no, and select close. And we're going to do the same thing for the NA box. Going to delete it for the name, and then that's handy. It's actually pasting the tooltip for me. So I can change that to NA and select close. Now let's run the accessibility checker again by going to prepare for accessibility, accessibility check, and start checking. So the biggest thing we're going to notice is this field description. It's not going to be these 3 checkboxes at the top. It's probably going to be one of these 3, and it is. So that means we have made those form fields accessible and they are in the right location. So the next phase of this is to do all of that heavy lifting and basically follow those same exact steps to get our document accessible. Additionally, the method that I just shown here will maintain the correct reading order of the document for assistive technology, and it will maintain the tab order for your keyboard when tabbing through the document. So we have multiple layers of accessibility and accessible form fields all wrapped up into one PDF document. And if you're up for it, check out the description of this video to find links about how I can help you get accessible. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.